I feel like you can't see me or I'm
Oh
dark.
no, I can see you just fine, Ricardo. I can see
Okay.
you just fine. Yeah, man, I can see you just fine. We good. We live, man, and here we go. Episode 5 of B&B on the Clock. It's your man, Coach Reg, and my co-host, JB the Kid One. We are back
What's
again,
up?
another week, another early episode. I know, folks, the episodes is coming earlier, but next week we will be back at our regularly scheduled Fridays. But this week, because I'm on vacation still and I'm going away this week, we couldn't do a Friday episode. So we're doing it earlier in the week. So we're giving y'all an episode. We're not stopping the content just because I'm going away. We're going to keep it flowing, keep it rolling. So to start the show, we're going to do what we do. We're going to get on the clock by taking a drink.
Just shot a
Cheers.
clock, baby.
Cheers to my bro. So we getting on the clock right here.
Yes, sir. Hold up. I'm a little old.
Hey, no problem.
Oosh. I'm up.
So now we on the clock.
Yeah, I'm on the clock. All right.
Yeah. So, all right, let's start it out with, how was your week, man? We did our show early last week. It was your first week back home. So how was your week, man? Let the folks know how your week went.
I went to work. As soon as I got back. They had me going to work. And after that, sorry, that shot messed me up. Hey, hold up. Whew. All right, so yeah, I went to work and then I went into a 4-day. I spent the first day just like the backyard. It would look like a jungle back there, so I've been tackling that for the last 3 days, and it was looking rough. But yeah, then we went to go see Space Jam today.
Oh, cool. How'd you like it?
I personally didn't think it was a bad movie. I'm not going to sit here and say it was better than the original, but I feel like it's biased. I tell you what, though, no shade to my man LeBron, but he's as bad as Beyonce and Lion King, dog. Hey, that little emotional scene, bro, at the end, bro, like,
yeah, man. Yeah, his actor was bad, but I think it was a good kids movie. Like, I think it was great for kids. My sons loved it.
I tell you, it was a lot of innuendos in there too. Like, you see a lot of stuff going on in there. I was like,
yeah. There was a whole lot of that. You see all the product placement by Nike. Nike did a hell of a job with their product placement, though. Like, they was killing the game. Like, when he dropped this, when he dropped it, he dropped it into a swoosh. Like, Nike was all over the product placement. Nike did a great job with their product placement, man. They made sure you knew this was a Nike movie. Like,
facts.
I mean, like in the first one, they did Pepsi. They did a lot of name brands in the first ones. Like, it was a lot of product placement in the original. But in this one, like, they took product placement to a whole different level, though.
Man, Don Cheadle. I always forget why he's a top actor. Like, he was really good. I gotta say, he was really, really good. I ain't gonna lie, that little boy that played his son looked like Bryce for a minute though. I was like, wait a minute, hold up.
But then when you see Bryce now, Bryce ain't that small anymore. Bryce ain't that small anymore. Recent pictures of Bryce was like, oh, Bryce a real teenager. Like,
yeah.
Like, he almost looked as old or maybe older than Bronny. Like, he looked, like it was. Listen, and Bronny the oldest, like.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. My week was good. I went away last weekend. I went to go see family down in Virginia. We went to Busch Gardens. We had a great time. We had a great time in Busch Gardens.
Y'all get it for free?
Fun. Nah, I wish we did though. Nah.
For real, not even for vets, they don't do the whole thing. I know for military, you get one free day.
For military they do, but if you're a vet, they give you a discounted ticket price, which was cool. It wasn't the full ticket price, so that was great. That was cool. That was a cool thing. But yeah, man, we got on some. Well, they got on some rides. I didn't really ride anything because I couldn't really try it with the shoulder still. But I rode one ride with my daughter because she made me get on it with her. So I got on the one John with her. But other than that, I really didn't ride no rides or anything like that. I was just there. It was fun to be there just to see their reaction, see them have fun, watch my son punk out on roller coasters with his cousins. Oh, it was great. It was a great time. My other son, he's the oldest, he's a whole roller coaster fanatic. So he was on everything, trying to be on everything. But he also acted like a whole teenager. It was like, I ain't really having no fun. My friend's not here and all that crap. But at the end of the day, he was smiling, laughing, running around, acting like a kid. And that's all that mattered to me.
Right.
I had fun. I had fun down there. And now we back. I got today and tomorrow home, and then I'm out again, and I'll be in Orlando for the foreseeable days. So I come back Sunday or Saturday. One of them. So I think it's Sunday though. We come back somewhere around there, and then I'll be back home, and I go back to work on Monday. Good 2 weeks off, a great break from the post office. It was definitely well needed, well deserved. So definitely happy that I got it in and got a chance to spend time with my family, and I'm gonna get time to spend with my wife's family, and we're just going to have some fun.
That's really going down to Orlando. That's you and Tosh, or you, Tosh?
Me, Tosh, and Sierra. Me, Tosh, Sierra, and then Tosh's sister Maisha. Tosh's mom. Tosh's mom is going, and I think one of Tosh's cousins and one of Sierra's girlfriends, Jasmine, is going, I believe. So we're all going to Orlando. It's gonna be a good time, good little fun time. Yeah, I got to shout out who I'm wearing today because, like I said, I'm going to promote Black-owned businesses and Black brands on the pod. So today I'm going to shout out my man, Antonio Radish, and his clothing line, Red Dot. It's my guy, man. He's a sneakerhead like myself. He is probably one of the biggest sneakerheads I know. He might even be bigger than me when it comes to the sneaker things. We met, like 12 years ago in a sneaker line. We kind of knew each other before that, but we really didn't know each other. But we was in the old days of sneaker releases, we was in line together at 3:00 in the morning trying to get some J's, and we kind of we really became cool after that, and we just been cool ever since. That's my guy. So I definitely want to promote his brand one more time, Red Dot Clothing Line. You can check him out at Red Dot Clothing. You can check out his Instagram page, Red Dot Clothing. And, he also does catering too. So, and he does security. So he does a lot. And he got a couple different business ventures. Yeah, he got a couple different business ventures, but that's my guy, man. Antonio Radish shirt, Red Dot Clothing. So we on the clock, as we like to say, and as you're going to hear us say more and more during the show now, we're going to start using that because that is what we are when we talk on this pod. So we're going to jump into our first topic of the day. And our first topic of the day is Game 6. The Bucks win, which I didn't think was going to happen, but it happened. I kind of had that feeling. And we're going to talk about Giannis's legacy also after an amazing finals performance.
Yeah, absolutely. I say that.
50 and 17 or 50 and 15, something like that. It was. I know he had double-digit rebounds, and he had 50 points.
Yeah. And then he had 5 blocks.
He had 5 blocks. He had five big blocks.
Big-ass blocks.
Yeah, he was, unbelievable performance. And he went 17 for 19 from the line. I can't leave that out. He went 17 for 19 from the line after struggling for the line most of the series.
Most of the
playoffs, he closed out the way you're supposed to close out. He definitely closed out, and he made the Bucks champions, man. Listen, and you can't forget Jrue Holiday. You can't forget Chris Middleton, who both played big in this series. Jrue was locking everybody up. Like, Jrue is an awesome defender, man. Like,
listen.
I've been a Jrue fan since he was at UCLA, actually. And when he was a Sixer, I was even more of a Jrue fan. And I was mad the night he got traded for Michael Carter Williams and somebody else, and they wanted to try this whole process situation. But I'm so happy for Jrue Holiday. He well-deserved, great player. But we're going to talk about the Greek Freak. We're going to talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo, and we're going to talk about Game 6 and where the Suns lost that game, because 2 games straight, the Suns could have won it and forced either a Game 7 or they could have been closing out the series. And I still go back to bad, horrible in-game play by Devin Booker. Like, he had some bad in-game decision-making. And, the Kobe comparison, I'm happy he pushed that to the side. I was like, that's not me. But if you really look at it, his in-game shot selection and decision-making kind of reminded me of Kobe. Kobe made a lot of bad in-game decisions at the end of games. He was the greatest bad shot taker ever. The stats show it. It proves it. Kobe was the greatest bad shot taker ever. And Devin Booker did a lot of those same things. Like that 3 in game 5 where he hit like the fadeaway 3. That was a bad shot, but he made it. So everybody loved it. But in reality, it was a bad shot. The play drop was great. His decision not to pump fake and just go up and shoot the fadeaway, he made the shot. So I can't say how bad it really was, but he made the shot. But the end game, you're trapped in game 5. You guys only need 1 point. You're trapped. I don't like Monty's play call of going ISO with him. I believe that Monty should have went pick and roll in game 5. He should have literally went back to what worked to get him that bad shot. Actually, you go pick and roll.
Yeah.
You use Ayton and Chris Paul in the pick and roll. Have him come off a flare screen like you did in that play, and let him get that shot, or let him get another shot. Instead, you put the ball in his hand, spread, go 5 out, and ISO. And what they did was smart. They put PJ on him. They let PJ wall up. Giannis came over and walled up. And then Drew came from behind and got the steal because he didn't have nowhere to go with the ball. But as soon as you saw the wall coming, the ball should have been coming out your hands. It should have been a pass, swing, you relocate and get a better shot. There was too much time on the clock. You didn't have to rush anything, and you were only down 1. But you live and you learn. And then in game 6, it was all Bucks. Bucks just especially closing that game out. Giannis was a monster.
I was about to say, I want to correct you. It wasn't all Bucks. It was all Giannis. When your main dude scores 50, it's literally half the points. Yeah. That's all you. And then you add 5 blocks on it. That means you're doing both ends of the ball. I gotta say, what it probably impressed me the most. So, a lot of people know that are watching. I'm always delayed when it comes to watching the game, so I usually watch the game the next day, at work or something like that. So I was watching it. What impressed me the most was the free throw. So, side note, I don't. How I watch the game, I don't get ESPN alerts. If a game is on, I don't get none of the alerts. So I'm as surprised as everybody else or whatever. Unless I check Facebook or Twitter, but I don't get no ESPN alerts or nothing like that the day of a game. So that way I wake up, I don't know the score, nothing like that. But what impressed me most was probably the free throws. I felt like Giannis was determined to not go to a game 7. Absolutely. And then, so that's why I was the issue I have with Devin Booker, and everybody giving the Kobe comparisons was more so, and everybody know I studied Kobe. I studied Kobe. And
you are a Kobe expert. I give you that.
The issue I had with Devin Booker, he has a quote unquote killer mentality, but you can't have a killer mentality without no bullets in your gun. That's the issue I have with Devin Booker. Don't get me wrong. He calls for the ball. He is a Mamba mentality guy. I give him that. When he's on, he's on. But the difference between him and Kobe, and that's why I say it separates him, is his IQ. His IQ, for me, is not there yet. Great. Could he get there? Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Rest in peace to Kobe. If Kobe was here, I'm pretty sure that little detail he had on ESPN, he would probably had a nice little joint on Devin Booker. You know what I'm saying? Hey, watch the tape. But I felt I also put the blame on Chris Paul. I feel like Chris Paul, as much as it's your window is closing, bro. So I felt like this was a time for you to step up. Now, granted, I don't know how bad, even though it's so crazy because I don't like using the injury game, but I know he wasn't 100%.
Right. But nobody's 100% at that point.
Yeah, it's at that point. Giannis wasn't 100%, but he dropped a 50-piece nugget, right? So I can't use that. So at
50-piece, what he ordered?
Chicken middies. He said not 49.
Not 51, 50. It'd be a 50-piece chicken middy.
But I would say Giannis, I feel I'm going to translate, kind of going to his legacy. I felt like his resume kind of if you were to retire today, he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And I feel like that should speak volumes. I like the quote from, I want to say, I could be wrong, but I want to say it was either was Stephen A. or it was Jalen Rose or ESPN, and they were saying that right now he's the top player in the NBA. No, my bad, I'm tripping. It was my guy Shannon Sharp. I remember now. My guy Shannon Sharp. He's the best player in the NBA right now, which is a fact.
Yeah.
Which is a fact. I can't really dispute the fact that right now he's the best player. For me, I'm big on resumes. So you look at, for me, I take a comparison. I think me and you were talking off the air one day. I think we were talking about the best big men. Yeah, you look at it. You got
last night. Was that making?
Last night. Yeah.
This is last night.
You got Joel Embiid. You got freaking Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis doesn't have a chip. Joel doesn't. But you look at Giannis, he's supposedly a big man, which everybody says he is. I'll give him that. He's a big man, whatever. And he has a defensive player of the year, two MVPs. No, I thought he had just one.
Only one? Just one defensive player of the year?
Two MVPs.
Right,
two MVPs. I want to say like 4 or 5 All-Stars, first team all. You know what I'm saying? He has all these whatchamacallits, and now he has a championship and a Finals MVP on top of all that.
Right, and he's a third player.
He's third player for the trio. Yeah, so like with all that being said, it's just like you got to kind of start looking at the all around aspect. I guess you could say like Giannis right now, to me, is the best player in the NBA. However,
oh man, here we go with the comments.
I feel like even though he's 22 right now, but I'm on Luka bandwagon. I'm on Luka's bandwagon.
Can we talk about Luka when we get to
we talk more about the Olympics, but I just want to say like right now Giannis is at top, but I will say he's leading the new school, the new wave, I should say.
Yeah,
and I feel like Giannis is leading that whole thing. It's just funny to me how all of our international players are taking over the NBA. That's just wild to me. That's wild.
Yeah,
that's wild. Jokic
how
is an MVP.
that's how global the game is now. That's how global the game is. The game is global. If you look at it, your top bigs in the league, except for Anthony Davis, are all international players. Joel Embiid, Jokic, Giannis. You know, you run down the list, and most of your bigs and some of your wings are all international players who are not U.S. born. So yeah.
I mean, real.
But it goes back to what most people say was either the Dream Team effect or the Redeem Team effect. You can take either one, and you can say they both played a part in why the international basketball game is the way it is these days. Like you start with the Dream Team, and you look back at '92. And you look at how that team was formed and how they went over there and just destroyed everybody. But they made everybody love basketball too.
Yeah.
Like Mike was a global figure. As much as people don't want to admit it, Barkley was a global figure at that time. Like he was a global name.
Yeah.
Not just for what he does on TNT now, but as a player, he was that guy.
And then you got to think too, one of my favorite players of all time, Magic Johnson.
Right. Magic was on that team for 92. And then if you look at 08, the Redeem Team, that was a killer team with Bron, Melo, Kobe, D-Wade. That team was unreal. That was a cheat code all by itself.
Cheat freaking code.
That
was the year Kobe won MVP.
Yep. Yeah, and Giannis, you have to say, yeah, he definitely is. If he's not one, he's 1A or 1B as the top player in the league. I know people are always going to go to Kevin Durant. I know people are going to go to the Kevin Durant statement and say Kevin Durant is the best player in the league. He's the most skilled player in the league, and he is the guy. Listen, if his foot is half an inch small, like I read a comment and I read a quote, and this quote made perfect sense. If Kevin Durant's foot is a half an inch smaller, Giannis doesn't make it to the finals, and people are saying Giannis is a bust. But because Kevin Durant's foot is a 15 and a half and not a 15, he makes that shot. It's a 2. They go to overtime. He's tired. They lose. but that's not, that doesn't take away from Giannis's greatness or how well he played in that series because he was magical in that series. But for people, but people were going to say that if Durant makes that 3 instead of a 2, and Brooklyn was in the finals, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, the only I ain't gonna hold you. I can't really dwell on ifs because of what if Chris Paul would have got traded to the Lakers. You see what I'm saying?
No, listen, I agree with you. I agree with you on the what ifs. But there's a lot of people who make the strong case that Kevin Durant is the best player in the league.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what people are saying, like, but the issue I had for the first time, like, the reason why I would never give it to Kevin Durant because I feel like he's never had to carry the burden of carrying the team on his back. Now, this is the first. Okay. This is literally the first time I've ever seen him legit like, "Hey, I got y'all," and to put the team on his back. And he looked like Jimmy Butler at the end of at the finals last year. Like that's he was hurt. Like you could tell, like, he was like, "Bro, like I ain't got no Kyrie." Like it's easy when you got ain't nothing but help. Like
you're right.
But when you got to put a team on your back, it's not. That's why I said it's really not for the faint of heart. Like
it's not. It's not.
Like I say this, everybody says, for instance, I always compare Luka and Trae Young, and I was like, the difference between I feel like Trae Young and Luka Doncic is one. Luka Doncic, he could easily get a triple double. He's like walking triple double, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
The difference is that Trae Young will be like, "Yo, I got us. I'm gonna put you in the right place to succeed." Where Giannis, with Luka, is just like going through the motions. So I feel like that's the difference between two. Like Trae Young, like I got you. Like don't even trip. But like,
right.
I feel like that is what separates. That's why I said I appreciated Giannis because Giannis is like, even if y'all not hitting, I'm gonna go out here and like, ball out on my little bum leg or whatever and do what I gotta do to quell up the series. And that's what I feel like legacy is. That's the tangibles for me. So like,
like his legacy is solid. Like he is the guy. Like, listen, take nothing away from him. Like foul shots and all that. Like you can go all those routes if you want to, but when it mattered most, he showed up and showed out. Like that 50 piece ain't a small number, yo. Like he showed up and showed out. And he showed up and showed out in these finals.
And a closeout game to drop a 50 piece, bro. You up there, bro.
Yeah, definitely. So moving right along on the clock. We moving on the clock here. So we're gonna talk about the NBA draft and free agency. So and rumored trades. We're gonna talk about all that. We're gonna talk about rumored trades, free agency, and NBA draft.
I just want to let y'all know I'm the next Woj out here. So if I tell you something to listen to me, okay? I got people on the inside. All right, what's up? What you got for me, Rich?
All right, man. So we're gonna talk about the draft first. I think the top 5 is mostly locked down on where it's gonna go.
Oh yeah.
I think K is number 1, even though reports came out today that Detroit's not fully sold on him, and they're looking at another player. Smoke screen. It's smoke screen. It's a smoke screen. Like if you're not looking at him as the number 1 pick and you go somewhere else,
you're dumb.
It's just as bad. It's just as bad for Detroit as y'all did when Melo was the number 2 pick and you guys picked Darko Milicic. Like I will never forget that. We can go back to 2003 if you want to. Y'all need to revisit that and realize like y'all passed up on a franchise player to get a role player.
I'm still tripping off of that one. The crazy part is I was too little to understand the concept of that. So So after I got older, I was like, who? Who was number 2?
Well, you made me joke right there.
Like real rap. Like I never understood why like Darko. Who the hell is Darko? Like
nobody knew he was overseas, man. Listen, but they made that decision. They had to live with it. And Melo went on to have a Hall of Fame career.
See,
I think this draft. So, what do you think the Warriors will do at 7-14? Do you think they'll trade it and try to go get Bradley Beal, or do you think they'll keep it and just draft 2 players and build for their future?
It depends on what they're trying to do, like how fast, like because they got Wiseman. Wiseman is a solid center. I don't think Wiseman is the perfect fit for the Warriors unless he buys into the system. It's key because Wiseman on any other team is putting up numbers. There, he's probably going to average like 15, 16 points, 10 rebounds after that.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna be with Jareco, whatever his name was, Jonas Jareco
Right.
or Andrew Bogut or something like that. Like.
Okay.
But I was like, it depends. Honestly, it depends. Are they building for the future, or are they just like, hey, we're trying to get back to?
They still got a window. You got Steph and Clay. You got Clay coming off for 2 years of rest.
So, but here's the thing about Clay. I gotta see it first. That's just me. Now it's different. I'm not saying he ain't got it no more. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, just like you said, I had to see if Kevin Durant was going to be the same after the Achilles injury. For me personally, you got to think from big ass injuries like that.
Yeah,
I only know Adrian Peterson and Kevin Durant to come back and nothing be wrong with them. Like that's the thing.
They saying Clay look like Clay. He don't look no different. He looks like himself. And
that's the case.
He ready to go.
I'm about to say that's the case. Then I would look at. Here's the thing though. Like, what about Bradley? Like Bradley Beal? Like I'm confused about that. Like he's gonna play the 3 now. Like,
or Clay will play the 3, like, because Clay can play the 3, and he can, like, I mean, they're interchangeable, they're wings. So in today's basketball, the 3 is not really like the 80s, 90s 3 where he was kind of big, he could post up. Like, they don't play that style of basketball no more with the 3. So
I gotta see. Honestly, I would have to see like what kind of that's a lot because Andrew Wiggins is bugging if he doesn't want to stay at the Warriors anymore. So like,
yeah,
that's what I said. Like, if you trade him, I was like, you trade Andrew Wiggins, you're missing out on a wing defender, but you also got Kelly Oubre too. So it's like one of those things where you just like, I don't know. It's hard with the Warriors. I can't predict. Honestly, that's one of the things I literally got to watch on draft night to see what they're going to do. Because if they're building for the future, I'll say go ahead and just take what you can. But now you want to ask me what my Lakers are going to do?
Sure, we go right to your team. The Los Angeles Lakers. They're looking to
get rid of.
They're trying to get rid of 2 people. They're trying to get rid of KCP and Kuzma. They're trying to get another superstar in. There's rumors that DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry want to move over there. There's rumors that they're interested in Dame. There's rumors that they're interested in Russ as being their new point guard. I'm about
to say it's a lot they will have to do. So like it depends. Like so about Lakers, it depends on what they want to do. I personally like the Kyle Lowry of it all because Kyle Lowry to me he never gets hurt. I can depend on him day in and day out. Same thing with DeMar DeRozan. Like I could actually depend on. Chris Paul is kind of shaky. Like as much as I would.
That's the other thing. Chris Paul, and they talking about Melo possibly going there.
So I've been on the Melo train since he's been out the league. He was out that league with Hoodie Melo. So I've been wanting him on the team. But at the same time, like if Chris Paul comes back, then like he's in the lab with LeBron. Like, but I figure he's lead by example anyway. The locker room would change. It's to me, I'm not worried about which piece they get because I feel like anybody who links up with LeBron, they can make it work for the most part. LeBron wants them. There's a reason why LeBron wants them.
Absolutely.
So it would be more so for me, like, okay, who are we getting as far as like the surrounding pieces? That's key for me because I feel like you build a bench, bro. I'm fine with it. Well, we ain't got a bench, bro. I don't care what starters you have, bro. Like, who
gotta build a team?
Yeah,
in the league, you gotta build a team. You gotta build a team.
And I was telling
stars win, but you need a team around.
Yeah, facts. I'm about to say that was my thing. I was like, every team that LeBron won a championship on had a legit bench. Well, you mean to tell me you could throw Dwight Howard, then you got JaVale McGee on the backup? You know what I mean? Like it was interchangeable pieces that were actually solid. When you got people like Andre Drummond, as much as I was like, he cool if he plays like he was in Detroit, you know. But if he's not playing like he was in Detroit, I don't want him. So that's the thing. I hope the Lakers, if they keep their draft pick, I want them to draft Sharif Cooper. Sharif Cooper is my point guard. He's the brother of Tia Cooper. That plays for the LA Sparks. So we kind of one of those perfect little storylines to throw up in there. But if they don't, then I hope they package a good pack. I wouldn't mind Bradley Beal either. I mean, shoot, we package that up and get it out of here.
Oh, so, you want mine Bradley Beal and Lakers uniform? I mean, who wouldn't wouldn't mind Bradley Beal in their team's uniform?
I'm about to say he just led the league in scoring. I'll take him.
Right.
But I think
Right.
honestly, I think that he would be a perfect fit for the Heat. And I don't think nobody's doing that. Oh yeah. Him and Jimmy Butler. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so in other news around the league, let's talk about the fact that the Sixers have not been in contact with Ben. The reports have been that the Sixers, except for maybe like 2 or 3 people in the organization, have not been in contact with Ben Simmons since his birthday. Now, supposedly there's supposed to be a team that's supposed to be getting in contact with him to go out there and work out with him in LA. But supposedly they haven't been, he's been ghosting them. I personally think. Go ahead. I'll let you go.
I'm about to say, I'm about to say, if I was Ben Simmons, I don't like y'all right now either. Y'all talking shit about me. I'm not talking to y'all. Did you hear what my boy Joel B said to me about me in the interview? I'm not talking to none of y'all.
Was he lying?
I'm not talking. You supposed to have my back. I don't care. In public, you're supposed to have my back. Talk to me in private, whatever. Don't
Bro, how can you have his back when that was the question that was asked and he didn't lie? Like, I'm not lying for you, USA.
Okay.
I'm not lying for you.
No, like, Reggie, that's something you don't do on a team. You're supposed to have my back. No comment. No comment. That don't work for nobody. No comment.
Oh my God. We're gonna go listen.
No comment.
I think that Ben Simmons should just be traded. He should be gone. Like the trade should have been happened. It should have been done. But there's also things around the league that they're not getting what they want in return. I know the Warriors have already backed out of that deal, saying they don't want no part. They don't want to give up an all-star for him because the Sixers want an all-star in return. You gotta figure out what's the best deal for you. I like the Bradley Beal deal that I saw today. Like I saw one. Mm-hmm. I like it. I mean, I think Brad Beal would be a good fit. I'm always going to want Dame. I think Dame is the perfect fit for this team. I read somewhere where somebody was like, I was in a Sixers group. That's where it was. I was in a Sixers group on Facebook. And the guy was like, when did Dame Lillard become Jordan? Nobody's saying Dame Lillard is Jordan, but he's a better fit for what the Sixers want to do with Joel Embiid. And you can't waste Joel Embiid. Like, you're wasting Joel Embiid right now. Dang. It's almost as bad as you wasted AI.
Ooh.
You gave AI one legitimate team, and then you wasted the rest of his years.
But gave him one.
Okay, you gave him one.
But first of all, that honestly, let's not even talk about that team because I don't even think that's a team that didn't deserve win. Hey, it's so funny because when you're older and you start looking at who he had on his team, you're like,
bro, listen,
stop playing, like for real. Like,
that's how great he really was. Like people don't realize how great he really was. Like
he don't get his credit. Never get a ring.
People don't get how great he really was, and they don't understand the fact that he was legendary in his way at being 6 foot, 168 pounds, soaking wet or whatever you want to say he was. Listen, man, like dude was great. And he got wasted here in Philadelphia. And now Joel Embiid at 7'2", 280, the monster that he is, he showed that he can go a season. He might get nicked up here and there, but listen, he was able to go and really go and get you exactly what you needed. All you needed was somebody on the wing that could help him and close out games. Y'all don't have that. Tobias Harris is not that answer. He didn't show up in the playoff. He didn't show up in that series against Atlanta. You don't have Ben Simmons didn't show up. He's not that guy. He's a facilitator who doesn't want to shoot. It's not even that he can't shoot. He doesn't want to. And that's a mental thing that they're not going to be able to get away from. So,
a history in the Ben Simmons too. For those that don't know, I want to say Australia. Yeah. Australia, yeah. So when he was down there in Australia,
that's where he's from.
He went to Monteverde for high school. Right? Mm-hmm. When he went to Monteverde or whatever, that was his like. So first of all, Ben Simmons is a spoiled kid. His dad spoiled him, like growing up or whatever. So like I feel like Ben Simmons has been the title. He went to LSU just to BS. Like, okay, I guess I gotta play college real quick.
Yeah, but he didn't. He showed at LSU he wasn't willing to shoot. Like, so this is not something new with him. This is just who he is.
And then the crazy part is when they went, remember I always bring back the Summer League joint when he balled out, all he did was shoot to prove a point.
That was just to prove that he could shoot. That was it.
That's why I was like, that's when I realized, okay, you choose to. My issue is Lonzo Ball, okay? I will keep on saying this because I'm a big Lonzo Ball fan, but I hated his jump shot. And I was like, he has to fix this. And every year, he has a brand new jump shot. Why? Because he works on doing it. He's with like Lethal Shooter on Instagram. Like, he's in the lab working on it. This man is going into 2K, picking up a custom jump shot maker, and he's making a jump shot, and he brings it to the NBA.
Ben is on the bench chilling with his feet up. I mean, on the beach with his feet up, chilling with a beautiful lady. That's what he's doing. Like, that's what he's doing. He's enjoying life, and that's where it's going to be at. I don't want to go
the Sixers are goofy. I just for giving him that check like he did. That's the only issue.
I mean,
no, because you didn't.
I agree, but you had to extend his rookie deal, so you had to. So you had
what
to.
Year,
he was
what year is he in? Because I'm entitled to 5 years. So this is what? How long you in the league?
Was his fifth year. This was his fifth year. They had to do it before his fifth year. They had to do it before his fifth year.
So what I'm saying is,
because you didn't want him to go into free agency. You didn't want to allow him to go into free agency. So you had to max, just like they got to max out Embiid this year, which they're going to do soon here.
So
you had to max him out then. Like, so he was your franchise.
But listen, if you got Ben Simmons, because you get a 2-year with then a 2-year team
player option. Yeah.
With team option, the players the rookies ain't got no choice. So so this would have been the year right here. You would have given him you would say extend him or whatever, or trade him, but you wouldn't have that whole So,
but they didn't want to. They didn't want to wait that long. Like they believed in him. Like, at the end of the day, they still believe in him. Like, they really don't want to deal him. Like, I'm going to keep it being. Like, I know people down there and they don't want to deal him. Like, they want to deal him because that's what the city is begging for. But in reality, they never wanted to deal him. They don't want to deal him. Like, they're really not trying to deal him. Like, they're just trying to appease the fans by saying they are. But in reality, they don't really want to deal him. Like, he's going to be a Sixer.
I don't think they got a choice. They ain't got a choice. He got to go.
I mean, in our eyes, he got to go. But in their eyes, he's fixable. Doc Rivers loves him.
Okay, cool. And they thought they can fix Carson Wentz. Guess where his ass is at now? Indianapolis.
Wait. But he also wanted out. So you gotta see. There's a different. Ben
if
doesn't
you just
really
said
want to leave.
If Ben Simmons is ghosting y'all, you don't think he want to be gone?
No, because he came here right after the season with Rich Paul to make sure that he wasn't getting traded. So he doesn't really want to leave.
Okay.
Because at that time, that was the time that you should have said you wanted. Like, your agent, y'all could have pushed for it right there. I want to be out.
First of all, we all know Rich Paul is a gangster. Okay, so he keeping everything with his poker face.
But listen. But that's what he did with Anthony Davis. They went in the office and said, "We want out." Like, we're not trying to say
because hold on, you can't compare it to Anthony Davis because LeBron said he wanted Anthony Davis to begin with. It was already out there.
But Anthony Davis already wanted to leave no matter what. Though he didn't want to be in New Orleans no more.
So listen,
he didn't feel like they was building a team around him.
So
the difference but here's the difference with Ben Simmons. The difference with Ben Simmons is there's a team around him. He's the one that's fucking up. So that's why he don't really want to leave.
Reggie, if me and you are on the same team and you ain't got my back in the press conference with everybody, all they making memes about me.
That don't bother him, yo. He's not that type of guy. He's not that guy.
Dude. He's light skinned, my nigga, bro.
That's exactly why he's sitting there on the beach with his chick. Like, oh, I don't care. They're gonna pay me, and I'm gonna come back and play, and I'm gonna be the same guy. He doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about none of that. Because if he wanted out, he would have asked to be out. He's one of them dudes. If he really didn't want to be there, they would have said it. The reason why I know they're not saying it is because he don't want the pressure of going nowhere else, yo. Like, this is a pressure he feel like he can deal with, even though he don't realize that this is not the place to deal with pressure.
I'm gonna tell you why I relate to Ben Simmons. If I'm Ben Simmons, I'm not gonna let it be known that I want out. I want y'all to be like, we're gonna trade him. Let the city trade him or whatever. Because if I look at it, you're like, because right now, if he requests a trade to leave, it looks so bad on him. So you a punk. You just gonna walk away because you didn't do whatever. I'm
Bro.
not playing that role. I promise you. It's
Bro.
all about optics at this point. So he goes
The
like,
optics is he ain't wanted here. That's the optics.
So, but listen, if he wants to make it the team to say it. If I say after a bad performance like that, yeah, it's time for me to go. I gotta get up out of here. Oh, so it looks different from when you. It looks like I want to say you look like he blew a game, but if you like really didn't want to be here,
he already proved he blew the game. That's proven.
But
that's
listen,
proven.
Listen,
you can watch the tape for that. You can watch the tape for that. You can watch the tape for that. What I'm saying is, you can't make that statement and not say he didn't already blow the game himself and not watch the tape.
But I'm saying though, you have more ammo now. All right, so yeah, it's game. He looked like he blew the game. If he said literally after a bad game, I want to leave. So you didn't want to be here in the first place. So that performance, you really blew that, man. Like, wow,
we all know he
crazy.
blew it.
So, but listen, okay, we know it, but it's different when you. It's the difference when certain actions happen. I'm gonna force the team. Hey, y'all gonna make that decision. If y'all want me here to keep me, I don't. Like you said, I don't care. But if not, then shit me. But the team did it. I didn't say nothing. Even though technically that's what I really want. That's why I say I feel like Ben Simmons trying to play it smart, so he's not looking like the bad guy. Because if he requests a trade, he gonna look so bad. He gonna look.
Not so loud. He gonna look smart because if you know anything about this city and these fans, they gonna eat him alive next year.
Hey, they
gonna eat him alive.
I tell you what, if he come back next year and his first shot another three, I swear his first shot better be a three, not a pass, not nothing. I'm pulling up from I'm screaming Jimmer when I shoot.
Listen, he better do something because it's not looking good.
It's not
looking good. All right, yeah, let's move on from this so sad topic to another sad topic. So we're gonna talk about the Olympics. So we're gonna talk about Team USA men's basketball. Absolutely. Another loss. This time in the opening game of I believe it was group play. They lost. Yeah, it's group play right now. So they lost to France by 6 points. In the game, they were up by 7. France went on a 16-2 run to close the game out.
Yes, sir.
And Team USA was in control for most of this game until that 16. And you know what the sad part about that is? I don't know if you can go because when they turned their defense up, that game looked like it was over. So I don't know if they put it in cruise control. I don't know if they just didn't feel like France had enough weapons to come back. Like, because you get like that when you up with that much time left and you're like, all right, well, it's over. Like, we got it. Like, this is locked. We're going to light it up. Like, we can score when we want to. We can do what we want. But what France did, which most teams should do against Team USA, is they put 2 bigs on the floor and they put 3 shooters out there and let the floor get spaced.
Man, I got 2 reasons why the Team USA lost. Okay,
go ahead.
First reason is Greg. The second reason is Popovich. Okay.
So we're going right to the coach. We're going right to the coach. I'm going to drink to this. This is a drink moment for me.
Greg Popovich is trying to run the Spurs system with a team of alphas, except Jeremy Grant. He's not no alpha, but with a team of alphas. Like, I'm like, bro, like
Jeremy Grant not an alpha, JaVale McGee not an alpha, and the bull who named they brought that I can't remember.
He's on the Spurs. He did like a Spurs like on the 15th man on the bench, like.
So he's a Spur. So that's why he's on this team. I was trying to figure out why he was on this team.
Me too. I had to look him up. I
didn't look him up. I didn't care. Like I don't understand why you're on this team. So
hey, I see his name on Bleacher Report. I was like, who the heck is this? I Googled it and I was like, really, bro?
Pop bringing in pop guys.
I was like, my issue is one, Greg Popovich trying to run the Spurs off, and it's not going to work. I feel like what made what was the previous coach? It slipped my
Coach K.
Head. Yeah, Coach K. I'm tripping. Coach K. He knew that if he let the players do their thing, right? He had, like I said, like let's go back to 2016. He had Melo, Draymond. Who else was on that team? I can't even think off the top of my head, but if you can go back to 2012 or 08, hell, even 04. Oh no, he had
Mhm.
08. My bad. I think he had how many Olympic joints he did? Was it 2 or 3? I want to say he had
Uh,
might be 3.
I can't three.
Might be
Might be
3.
three.
But I was like, even still, like with those teams, you got like Kobe. What they can coach themselves. They know what they need to do. You know what I mean? And I feel like even if they like everybody, like I like your what you keep on saying, like the whole big thing. Okay, whatever, cool. They have bigs. My issue is you really brought in bigs for that reason.
Did they
But
really bring in bigs that are serviceable for that? Like you didn't bring in a like. Here's my issue. Here's my issue. If you look back at all those teams, 08, 2012, 2016, they had legitimate bigs, like a legit. They had a Dwight Howard, or they had a Chris Bosh. They had legit guys who play down low, who get busy. As much as I like Bam, Bam is undersized for the international game. Bam is undersized for the league. To be honest, as a big,
so
and I like Bam's heart, but Rudy Gobert was killing the boards last night or the other day. I just watched the game last night, but he was killing the boards the other day. Like Rudy Gobert was getting everything. Stifle Tower was being Stifle Tower, and Evan Fournier was lighting them up. I love Dame's quote. These dudes don't do this in the league, but for their national team, they get busy.
Yeah.
Like, and again, I'm not sure if they're going to medal. I'm just being honest.
So
I'm not sure they're going to medal. Like, I'm going to be real. I had them at least probably taking silver because I didn't think they could win gold. And I think they're going to lose another game. Like, if they lose to Iran, I think they play them on Wednesday.
I ain't gonna lie, they lose to Iran, it's a wrap. But
it's
I would
over.
say this. My thing is,
they can't lose another game. And they need to beat Iran by at least 25 to 30 to make this whole going into pool play. Going into pool play more important because point differential matters in the Olympics.
So here's the thing I would say. The reason why I haven't given up hope on them is because of Kevin Durant. Honestly, that's the only reason.
Because he's catching the most blame out of everybody on this team with his team losing.
And I would say they don't have good chemistry.
They don't have chemistry.
And I think that's a big thing. Like a lot of people was like want to say like I still blame Pop, but at the same time, like the chemistry is not there with a lot of these guys. Like I said,
dude, they just got together 2 weeks ago.
The issue, and then legit, you have people like Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton just came on board with Devin Booker. Like, so these people that can play, but they ain't got no chemistry right now. So
Drew Holiday said it best last night. He said we just got off the plane. Well, in the interview after the game, he said it best. He was like, "It'll come together." This is the first time we was all together. Me, Dev, and Chris just got off the plane.
Right.
Like he said it best. They just got off the plane.
So I feel like with all that, like everything going on right now, I just feel like once they get it together, I have one 30-point game in Kevin Durant. And that's gonna be the game where you're gonna see Showtime basketball in the Olympics again. But right now they
he better bring 30. He better bring 30 the next game. How about that? Because they're gonna need it.
I ain't gonna lie. Against Iran, I don't think you're gonna need it, bro.
And I hate the way they're shooting NBA threes in the Olympic game where the line is shorter. Like, stop pulling up from the logo.
I was about to ask you that. I'm about to say, ain't it the college three-point?
It's the international 3-point line, which is closer than a college 3-point line.
Oh, okay. I knew it was closer. I know what I say, yeah.
It's closer. Yeah, so it's a closer 3-point shot.
Is the basketball smaller? I forgot all the
rules.
It's
the same size ball, but the ball feels different. It's it has a different grip to it. But the rules about goaltending is different because on a rebound, you can knock the ball out the cylinder. You can knock the ball out the cylinder. I think the NBA does need to adapt that rule though, because it'll make it better for the American players who play in the NBA who are going to play in the FIBA games and stuff like that in the Olympics.
Yeah.
It would make them more adaptable and used to it because a lot of times they're looking for a goaltending call and it's not there.
Facts.
So I think that is one of the rules in the NBA that needs to change to help these players get used to that when they go play international ball. because all the international guys play that in the summertime when they go to their home countries. Like, for instance, Luka, who had 40 last night. Listen, he's going to take that team to a medal. Watch, I got him taking them to a medal.
But here's the thing. I'm about to say that, and I was telling everybody, and I was like, look, the issue I had with everybody, first of all, people were saying like Slovenia, which they're trash. Slovenia is trash, okay? But I was like, Luka have been playing international basketball since he was 15. Oh, 15. Okay, 15. Yeah. So I was like, you take that into perspective.
He been playing grown man ball since he was 15.
But like, I'm gonna say on
international. They don't have a college. They don't
I was gonna say strictly international though. They're strictly international.
They play pro basketball international at 15.
So I was like, for him, this is home for him.
Yes, this is where he thrives.
He's in his comfort zone, and he's like in the Slovenian national team. So like everything
it's guys that he knows, it's guys he's been playing with for years. This team has been together 3 or 4 years. We're Team USA. It's just been put together in 2 weeks. That's the other thing that I don't feel we have as a team. Like, we're not together, so we don't have that continuity. We don't have that unity of being. And these guys love playing for what's on their chest more than what's on their back. Mm-hmm. Where the US guys, they're all NBA players. You know, they love playing for USA on their chest, like they love it right now. But it's not something they love all the time. Mm-hmm. Like these guys, they love it all the time. Like they at every tournament, every international tournament, playing together, being a team. Like they build that. So.
I'm about to say another thing too. Ever since the Dream Team was assembled, you got to know that they're out for blood when it comes to USA.
Listen, Dream Team, Redeem Team, you go either one. Like, Redeem Team made it worse for everybody.
Man, I agree. I just don't understand why. But I don't know. They piss me off. What's the next topic? Hey, let's piss me off.
Yeah, we had to do that. Yeah, we had to do that. Yeah, get your blow in real quick. That's. A blow.
almost started packing the joint like some Newports or something. No?
Next topic that we want to clock about. We are on the clock talking about the NFC South. Last week we talked about the AFC East. This week we're going to talk about the NFC South. We got the Bucks, Panthers, Saints, and I forgot the fourth team, and I don't know why. It's killing me. Bucks, Panthers, Saints, and who was the fourth team? Falcons. Oh man, I don't listen.
Hey, don't scare me like that, bro.
I be having my moments, man. Laps, don't try this smart, man.
Coach Reg, who taking the division?
Bucks.
If you would have said anything else, bro. If you would have said anything else.
Bucks. Time is still time, and while they got time with that team, Bucks.
Okay.
I want to know who's gonna be the starter in New Orleans. That's my question.
Bro, who cares? Hey, look, they rebuilding. Okay, I got no faith in the Saints. Okay, they lost Michael Thomas for like the first 2 weeks. Who the hell they throwing to?
All right, I mean, but again, I want to know who
Alvin Kamara.
Drew Brees retired. Drew Brees retired. So who's the guy? Is it Taysom Hill or is it Jameis?
So I think Jameis is going to start, but it's going to be. But what I do like is Sean Payton's offense is crazy. So like I really think you could just kind of plug in somebody and you can stay afloat for a little bit. The defense is not as bad as it used to be, and so they can stay afloat. My thing is offensively, like Michael Thomas is that guy. Like you can throw it to him, you can throw it up, he guaranteed hands. So when he's gone for like the first 2 weeks, now you got to find somebody else to throw to. Alvin Kamara is one of my favorite running backs. He's not better than Christian McCaffrey though. But talking about Christian McCaffrey, side note, hey, them Panthers is my sleeping team though.
We're gonna talk about them. We're gonna talk about them next.
But the Saints though, I feel like if Jameis starts, I feel like it'd be better for Jameis. I love Jameis. I'm biased. I like Jameis. I'm about the Florida. When he did that little thing in Florida State with Jimbo, yeah. I was a fan. But I don't know, man. We'll see with the Saints. But moving on to the Panthers.
Panthers, your sleeper team.
Hey, that quarterback,
They traded for Sam Darnold, which was a shocker, but okay.
And then they got the rookie ball. I might go dust off that Panthers jersey, though. Got Newton on the back, though, but I might dust it.
Go dust the Panthers jersey, yeah. But you're from Carolina, so so if everybody doesn't know, he's originally born in Chester, VA, but he's a Carolina kid,
I might have to dust that joint off, man. And it's crazy because I only was a Panthers fan because forget Steve Smith's Baltimore run. It was his Panthers run.
Carolina run, right?
Yeah. So
right.
But I'll say as far as the Panthers, they got the ball Terrence Marshall. I wanted the Eagles to get him.
Okay. Yeah.
He was in LSU, I think he was, but he's a good receiver. And then Christian McCaffrey's back 100%.
Yes.
Hey, that's it. That's the end right there.
Yeah, you just gotta say much else.
And then their defense, they had the boy that was supposed to win. He was in the running, I should say, for a defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Jeremy Chin, that's his name, Jeremy Chin.
Yep.
So
I like their coach. Matt Rule. Matt Rule was he was the head coach at Temple before he went to University of Miami. So I'm a big Matt Rule fan. Matt Rule brought Temple. Okay. He brought Temple football back to some notoriety before he went to Miami. Oh yeah, I'm a Matt Rule guy. Matt Rule's my guy. I wanted him as the Eagles coach.
The crazy part is that offensive coordinator came from LSU for the championship team.
Yep. Hey, so they got a very good coaching staff. I look at coaches too, so they got a very good coaching staff.
Yep.
I think they could sleep and become a wild card team. I think Tampa's winning that division easily. The Falcons, Matty Ice, local kid. He's Matty Ice. No more Julio there. Julio is in Tennessee. So, it's all about Calvin Ridley and it's about Kyle Pitts, who I think is going to be special. Another local kid, another kid from the area. Kyle Pitts, I think he's going to be the deal. I think he could do more than just play tight end. I think he can line up outside and be very special.
Oh, no. I'm about to say Kyle Pitts is that guy. I just feel like because you lost Julio, right? Now we focus in a little bit more on Kyle Pitts. If you would have kept Julio, then you got to worry about.
I think they're going to have to. You got to worry about Calvin Ridley, though. Don't forget about Calvin Ridley. Like Calvin Ridley putting up numbers.
I'm not saying that, but you got to look at it from an offense. If I'm a defensive cornerback or safety,
I don't know about.
I got to watch Julio. Because he's Julio.
Right, but now Julio's not there, so I'm looking.
So now I'm looking at Calvin Ridley. But now I have two people. I got my middle linebacker, which is stupid, but I have my middle linebacker.
Oh yeah,
I got a cover safety on him, right? So now I got to worry about two now. So I think now it's gonna be harder I will say it's gonna be harder for the Falcons. I only had them winning 5 to 6 games this year.
Yeah, me too.
So and like you said, I love Matty Ice because he just throws the ball up. I always love quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Just throw it up.
Yeah. Listen, Matty Ice can still go. He still got some years. I do feel like they should have drafted a quarterback, but I'm not mad at the Kyle Pitts draft either. But I do feel like they should have drafted a quarterback.
I'm gonna say, if you didn't draft Kyle Pitts at number 4, then something's wrong. I felt like the Eagles were going to trade up to get him. That's exactly what I thought was going to happen.
I thought that was going to happen. But
when I watched that draft so close, I was like, bro, if we end up with Kyle Pitts, bro, it's a wrap. I'm sorry, NFC. Hey, I'm sorry, Cowboys, bro. It's say what y'all want, bro.
Oh my God!
It's what y'all want.
I don't know, man. Listen, we're not going back there. We're gonna stay right here where we at because we're not going back there.
But so back to your Bucks sake, they repeat only if everybody stays healthy. All the key players, I should say.
Listen, they so deep though. Like they're deep at receiver, they're deep at running back. Their line is pretty good.
Let's talk about that offensive line though. Let's talk about that because they drafted that boy. His name is something T. Worth, or whatever his name is. That right tackle. When I say people slept on him, like me, I slept. I was like, and I'm big on offensive linemen because as an Eagles fan, you got to pay attention to your offensive linemen. So
absolutely.
So when they got Tristan Wirfs or whatever, I was like, but he was obviously, as you can see, he was obviously a steal, and they got him. I played with the Buckets on Madden a lot, so I kind of know the roster upside down. So, and then they got, Leonard Fournette revamped his career. But it goes back to everybody knows their role on that team. If you know your role on your team, you're going to thrive with a Bruce Arians system because he plays a balanced playbook. So, so we talked about the Falcons. We talked about everybody.
I think the Bucks will repeat as division champs. I don't know. I mean, Super Bowl. I mean, you got to show me that you can beat them. You got to show me you can beat them, man. And then right now, that guy.
They ran chance. But however, I would say look out for the usual top contenders. I'm not going to sleep on now. I just got the alert. I'm pretty sure you did too. That Rodgers is going to stay with the Packers. So look out for the Packers.
I mean, again. that was expected. Like he was selling wolf cookies. Like he wasn't going to retire. But we'll talk about them. We'll talk about them in a couple of weeks because they come up. NFC North comes up next week. We're doing the AFC South, so we'll.
I'm gonna say the Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl. I don't care who they playing, but they're going back. The Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are ready. I see you on record already for that. So we're gonna hold that thought until we talk about the AFC West. Yeah, of course.
So we're gonna hold that. So we're just gonna talk the visuals. We're not gonna talk Super Bowl. We're not gonna talk who's gonna be there yet. We're gonna say that so after we finish the whole thing, and then we'll talk about our picks for that. So I definitely think that Tampa definitely wins that division. They'll be there. They'll be somewhere in that mix. They'll be in that Final Four.
Oh
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I definitely see that.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
As far as the NFC South, I mean, that's really all I got on them. AFC South, we'll talk about next week. That's the division that I really want to talk about. I can't wait. I think that's going to be one hell of a division. I think that's going to be a fight who comes out of there. I know who my pick is. I'm not going to say who my pick is now. I'm just going to hold that till next week.
Okay.
But before we get on the clock for our next topic, I think we should take a drink because this next topic is our main topic of the day. And this is where we're going to talk about some things that people don't really want to talk about in our community. But we're going to talk about it because this is what we do. This is how we are. So,
yes, sir.
Had to finish off my bottle there. And yes, I drink this. We're going to talk about this company and a couple other companies too when we talk about these tequilas. We want to talk about these sports athletes and entertainers who own tequila companies and are making some better tequila than the tequila that we normally drink. So, Terramina is my drink. We're going to talk about today's topic is we got three people we're talking about. We're talking about Kanye West, Bill Cosby, and R. Kelly. Here we go. So the question that is that can you separate the man from their entertainment? So because Kanye and R. Kelly are both music. Bill is TV. He was TV. Can you separate their entertainment from the people that we find out that they are? So in Kanye's instance, we're going to talk about him and his Trump support and his crazy takes and his mental health. Bill, we're going to talk about Bill. Outside of the comedy and the TV shows and being America's dad, the man that was giving women pills, like we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about R. Kelly, the legend, one of the greatest music makers ever, but the man who is accused of raping and holding women hostage. We're going to talk about it. Where do you want to start, my partner in crime? Do you want to start with Kanye, Bill, or R. Kelly? You take your pick. I'll let you pick on who we start with.
We're going to talk about Mr. Bill Cosby. So I have a question for you, Mr. Reggie.
Go ahead. You know what? Go ahead. Hold on for that. Go ahead. Where's your question?
And Mr. Puddin' Pop, is he still American? Is he still America's dad in your heart?
So I never really. Okay, so let me preface this by saying I never really looked at him as America's dad because I had a great father, so I didn't need to look at TV for a great dad. So that's number one. So let me preface it that way. But as far as like the show, the Cosby Show, and what he did for Black people, as far as A Different World, the Cosby Show, I still watch those shows. I'm never not going to watch those shows. I watch those shows. Like, so the life lessons you can learn from those shows are incredible. Like, so
I'm about to say that's it right there.
I'm never going to not watch those shows. Like the Cosby Show was one of my favorite shows growing up, and it wasn't because of him. It was more so because of Keisha Napoleon. I loved Rudy. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and lie. First of all, Rudy's the same age as me, so let's do this correctly. Let's not act like Rudy and me are not the same age. We are. But Keisha Napoleon is 40 in her 40s. If she's not the same age as me, she's that much older than me.
America, the reason why I watched the freaking Cosby Show is because of Denise. Okay, because Denise was fine. Okay, I don't care what nobody was talking about. He talking about little ass Rudy. Nobody was looking at Rudy.
Nigga, that was my age bracket.
Bro, so you mean to tell me when you was like 6 and you was sitting like, yo, I'm about to get with her.
Bro, I wanted to date Rudy. I didn't want to date the oldest. I wasn't like that at that point. I'm sorry. I wasn't like that at that point. Again, I'm in the era where the Cosby Show was a regular TV show. I wasn't catching the reruns, bro. For me, the Cosby Show was the actual show still. It came on Thursday nights. I can tell you what time it came on. Thursdays at 8, B. That was my show. Mm-hmm. So it's different. We different here. Like, being you different on this one.
My bad. I didn't know you was in the studio audience when it was live, bro.
Listen, you get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying here? Like, so it's a little different. So yes, but Bill was as an adult when I watch it. Yes, I watch it for Bill because I liked his parenting style as an adult now when I watch it.
Yeah.
So his parenting style and how he handled things and how he disciplined them. And he was a successful Black man living in a successful community. And he had a wife. Like, those are the things you don't see on TV today for our people.
Right.
Yeah. So that right there is what I look at when I watch the Cosby Show now. But as a kid, like, I wasn't looking at the Cosby Show for that. I didn't even know what that was. But as an adult, yes, going back and rewatching the Cosby Show and seeing that and showing my kids the Cosby Show is like, yeah, like we watch it for that reason. So you could get the life lessons out of the show. Like when Theo with the shirt, the Gordon Gartrell shirt, and it made him still wear it. And then he decided he actually liked it because people liked him in it. Like, yeah, like that happens sometimes in life. Like, you know, like it's something that you don't want that your parents make you wear and you still got to wear it.
Sure.
So, you know, young boy, come here. I never put this boy on the show, but I need everybody to see my other son. Come here. Yo, you are so... Can you just bend down for the camera and say hello? Yo. So now I got my other son. You'll finally see my other son. He's finally over. So y'all can see him on the show. Bye. See you. Get out.
What time will it be ready?
5:30. All right. So yeah. So, you know, like that's why I watch that show. Like, you know, I watch that show for those reasons. Now, Bill the person, I've never heard great things about Bill the person. And this goes back to like comedy sketches from Eddie Murphy. This goes back to D.L. Hughley and what he always said about Bill. Like when you hear other comedians and how they actually talked about him as a person, it doesn't match the TV person.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So I've never really looked at him as this great person. Like, now, was he a humanitarian? Did he do things for Black colleges? Did he make all these endowments to schools to make them libraries and things like that? He did all that amazing stuff. He tried to promote Black education on the show. That's why A Different World was made, was to show historically Black colleges to kids so Black kids would go there. So those things I'm always going to be indebted for with Bill. But the Bill that we're talking about now, the one that just got out of jail, where they talking about back in the day, he was serving women Quaaludes, which I never knew what that was until I asked the old head in my neighborhood, because I had to ask somebody his age, because for me, they knew what it was. So I went to my pop and I went to his homies, and they said that was the thing they did back then. He said that was their norm. He said that was how you party with the girls. Like, you get them one, you take one, y'all get loose and get jiggy. So for me, that's
side note. America, you could tell Reggie's age with the words like jiggy. Just want to put that out there for the
yes. I'm older. So back to what I'm saying. So, like, those women did that at those times, and they were actually wanting to partake in it. Now you come out years later because of the Me Too movement and these other things. Now it's a crime, but it was like over 50 years ago. Like, for me, it's like, I don't really know how you judge a man who was doing things in his time, because if that's the case, then a lot of things that go on in this world that happened back then, you got to still hold people accountable for today, and people don't do that. So how do you hold him? Right. So how do you hold him accountable? Because you didn't hold Weinstein accountable. You're not holding all his white counterparts accountable who was doing the same exact things.
Yeah, I agree.
So how do we hold him accountable? But I do think he has to answer for it. But I just don't think it's the right. I don't think they're going about it the right way.
So I was going to say, look, at the end of the day, look, like you said, not saying it's right if it did happen or whatever. A lot of stuff that happened back then doesn't happen now. If it does, it's usually kept under wrap. For instance, you always say Steve Harvey, if they had the social media back then when they did the Kings of Comedy tour, they are probably under some fire right now, because a lot of stuff they did was a no-go. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So I always say, like, when it came to people like that were doing stuff back then, it is what it is. First of all, what's called a spade a spade. Cosby was out there trying to buy a network, a major, like a white network.
NBC.
And okay, good. That's fine. But he was trying to buy NBC or whatever. They didn't like it or whatever. And just like they did to Deshaun Watson, they did to Bill Cosby. They tarnished his name. They brought up old receipts, had people. I don't know what happens behind Hollywood. I'm pretty sure there's some under the table payments that happen or whatever, but I'm under the belief, like, so for me personally, I didn't have cable. So at nighttime, the Cosby Show came on or whatever, and I was definitely watching because Denise's ass was on there personally. But I was like, at the same time, when it came to Cosby, like you said, as an adult, it hits a little bit different. All the shows back then hit different when you're older. Right. So I was like, you just knew, like, Bill Cosby was over here. You don't touch him. He's was America's dad back then. He was Black excellence. Exactly. He was Black excellence. You don't touch him. He's up there. You just don't touch him. Granted, right. I feel like America's dad should have been John Amos. But that's another story. But I feel like Bill Cosby, that's the thing. Hell, I'm about to say, I grew up on the tapes, so I had all the Fat Albert tapes. I didn't know it was Bill Cosby back then, but when I got older, I was like, oh shoot, I literally had, like, I got gifted a VHS cassette joint of all of the Fat Albert little series, whatever. So with that being said, I felt like a lot of people got upset with my post when I was happy that Bill Cosby got out. The reason why I was happy that he got out was, one, the motherfucker 106. Why the hell why is it like he paying for crimes that literally happened before we had y'all listen to Walkmans and 8-track probably before that, like, and then these people that coming up, they looking like the Titanic lady talk about. I remember way back when, like, bruh, do you really though? Right. If he gave you a Quaalude, and it, like, you're not supposed to remember how you got there, all of a sudden your memory came back and just jog your memory. Nah, bro, that is not adding up to me. So that's why I was like, I never really agreed with it. And then, like, I got a lot of backlash because I do have a daughter. What does that happen to your daughter? First of all, she's not taking candy from strangers. Okay, first of all. So I'm sorry your mamas didn't raise y'all right, but But second of all, I'm like, bro, and literally that, like you said, that was the thing back then. That was just like we mess around and we smoke a blunt and we get teed up or whatever. That was their blunt. I guess you want to put it like that. That's what they did.
Right. They were smoking weed back then. They were smoking Quaaludes. Like they was taking Quaaludes. Like that was what they did. Like that was their time. Like from my understanding to talking to people who are in that age bracket, i.e. my own father, who's 75, Bill's 86. They're only 10 years apart. They're in that same time frame. And then you have like his friends who are in their 80s who are still alive, who I get to see on occasion when I go hang out with them with my dad. They was all telling me like, yo, that's what we did. He was like, they was like, I don't get it now. Why is it such a big thing? He's like, that's not what y'all do. He was like, no, we don't do that. Like that's like rape now. And it was like, oh, interesting. Like that's exactly how they answered. Like, interesting. Like so, I can't be fully mad at something that happened 50 plus years ago that I don't even really understand what really happened in the situation because he ain't really talking about it. He ain't even defending himself. So, you know, you get what I'm saying? So I don't know. I want to talk about, so for me, I want to save R. Kelly for last. So we're going to talk about Mr. West. I'm a Mr. West fan. I can separate the music from the man. I can separate the sneakers from the man. I just need people to understand that, like, I'm a Kanye West music fan. I am a Yeezy sneaker buyer. I am a Yeezy fan. I am a Kanye fan. The man who makes the decisions that he makes, he wanted to be Trump's friend. I didn't agree with that. The man who has crazy episodes and says some of the craziest things, off the wall things, like slavery was a choice. Never agreed with that. But the person who makes music, like this Donja album that's coming out, that I can't wait for, that I set up on Friday at midnight waiting for it to come out while I was on vacation, sitting there looking at my phone like, okay, drop the album. You said the 23rd. 23rd is here. I don't have an album. I'm that fan. If I can get 808 Heartbreaks Kanye back, I'd be the happiest person around. Because you want to know why? Because that music is legendary. That music touches your soul. College Dropout touches your soul. Late Registration touches your soul. That type of music was different. Pink Polo Kanye, backpack wearing Kanye, that's my guy.
X. Okay.
New Kanye, listen, from what I heard from this listening party, from people who was there in Atlanta, who played the listening party on their phones, I want the album. I can't wait. I'm going to listen. I'm going to promote that I listen. That whole verse, Lord, listen, you got two of my favorite people back together. I'm with it. I'm ready. I'm waiting. Drop the album. I can't wait. The man Kanye, he's the man. Listen, he lost his mom. Again, I keep trying to tell people, when you lose your mother or a parent, period, you go into a different state of mind. And it's the hardest place to come out of unless you have a real support system. And I don't believe the Kardashians were a real support system. So
I was about to say, I'm about to say, you kind of took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, first of all, I came up a little bit different. I wasn't really deep into Kanye music. However, one song that caught me off guard was shoot, Lord Jesus, alcohol messing with my brain cells. The one he did with Jamie Foxx, bro. I was singing the song, but I forgot the title. I want to get titles at. He said what?
I had to cut the mic off so you wearing my back. Gold Digger? You talking about Gold Digger?
Nah. Marvin Gaye. So
so
that was the first time I heard Kanye on the out. Like first, I was like, bro, who is this dude? So that's my background. And after that, I started listening to him, and I'm like, yo, this dude right here. So you said 808. So I was like, yo, okay.
808 is my favorite album. 808s is probably my favorite album.
So then I got listened to my Dark Twisted Fantasy, right? And I was like,
Another
okay,
great album. Another great
right?
album.
So I'm like, okay, Kanye talking. And this is where, as a like growing up as a young adult, where you said you like separate the man from his music, because I grew up in a house that listened to nothing but Michael Jackson, and I always found
You
it
have
weird.
you have to separate the
Hold up.
man from the music.
So listen, so I legit, I can name you every Michael Jackson album. I can name you 50 songs off the top of my head. That's how much we listen to Michael Jackson in our house.
Mm-hmm.
So when I literally grew up in the court
I'm a Michael Jackson fan.
So I grew up in the court proceedings.
You can't tell me nothing about Mike.
So
I don't care. Like
for me, and then like a lot of people know that I used to study comedians just because I wanted to be one so bad.
Right.
So, so you hear the jokes about Michael Jackson, this or whatever. We didn't care in our house because at the same, we'll listen to somebody bash Michael Jackson. Next thing you know, we remember in the time they said another joke, bad. Like so at this time, like I didn't really at a younger age.
The preference to Michael Jackson thing, right? Hold on, I want to get inside. And why I'm even more of a bigger Michael Jackson fan than most people really know. So if you know me, like most people who really know me, who went to like middle school and elementary school with me, y'all all know my mom made me be on the choir. For most people who really, really know me, every time I sung on the choir, my choir director always had us do a Michael Jackson song. Who did the lead Michael Jackson songs? This guy. I did Remember the Time. I did Thriller. I did all dance routines and everything because I can dance. She had me do all that. So I had to do the dance routines, sing the songs, all that. You can ask anybody who ever went to middle school with me, who knows me, or elementary school, they'll tell you, oh, when the choir performed, you knew a Michael Jackson performance coming, and Reg was doing it. I'm a Michael Jackson fan. Like, I am a fan. This is not I can do every Michael Jackson routine. To this day, I'm a fan. Like, can't tell me nothing about Mike. So, I don't believe nothing about them little boys because you want to know why? You parents sent them little boys to that house. You parents put them in that bad situation. Because y'all loved Michael Jackson too.
I'm about to say the issue I have with the whole little boy thing, and not to try to get sidetracked, but the only reason why I had a hard time believing with it is because it was pretty random. Like,
right? Macaulay Culkin never said he touched him. Macaulay Culkin never said it. I just want to point that out.
And right, and he was always off too, but like it was just for me, it was random. First of all, there ain't no black kids was saying none of that stuff.
And it was never no black kids. Just want to point that out too. And what most people fail to realize about Mike was he never had a childhood. So when he hung with the kids, he was trying to be a kid still.
That and legit, and Michael said this on numerous occasions, because he didn't have a childhood. As big as a humanitarian he was going to give them the childhood that he didn't have. So if it means introducing you to Bubbles and 2 giraffes in the backyard, so be it. And then Steve Harvey, one of the greatest comedians of all time, this man says he had money that we ain't never thought about having. All right, let's put that in perspective.
Exactly.
So yeah, if he wants to dress up like Captain Crunch, I don't like who. First of all, your favorite rapper dresses weird. Okay, so that's so. Let's not talk about outfit choices, because boy,
these niggas out here wearing dresses. So we gonna leave that alone.
Young Thug just dyed his hair pink, so we're not gonna talk. That's y'all favorite rap. See, don't get me upset because I would defend.
No, let's all right. Okay, we was talking about Kanye. Back to Kanye. Back on task.
But back to Kanye. No, I would just say that I just have a real. It's not that I can't separate the two, like the man and the music. The issue I have is I felt like the same energy everybody was putting out for cancel this or cancel that, because we live in a cancel culture. I just find it real funny that because it's Kanye and we just gonna forget, like he said, slavery is a choice. I said, let's not forget who this man was. Granted, he ain't some comfortable ass sneakers. He freaking makes some great music, but let's not forget what took place. I'm probably gonna be one of you people that are gonna be waiting up for his album to drop, because I'm interested. I haven't heard Kanye drop some music in a minute, so that's another thing too. It's like just like when I'm a proud member of the Beehive. So when Beyonce drops the album, I'm literally.
I got you. I'm there.
You know what I'm saying? So like when Kanye drops it, but I was like, my thing is, I just find it funny how in this day and age we can pick and choose who we want to cancel.
But y'all also gonna pick and choose what y'all like about him because he was the same person that went on national television during Katrina and said Bush don't care about black people, and y'all all supported him for saying that. But now because he because he's a Trump supporter, you have a problem with it because he thinks differently. Again, I say this and I believe this. Most geniuses think differently. They think different than we think.
I don't think. I'm not attributing that to.
But I also think he just likes Trump as a person. I think he likes Trump as a person.
I think, and this is me, just like Wayne.
But didn't Steve Harvey go sit with Trump? Then we had this conversation. Didn't Wayne go sit with Trump?
So
didn't Steve Harvey go sit with Trump?
I'm getting there. What I'm saying is, I feel like it was a business move. There's no way in hell you got some of the prominent black Weezy, bro. Weezy. With all them missing dreads, you mean to tell me he went up there to go mess around and pose with Trump, and you don't think he cashed him out? Like, come on, like that's what I said. But even with Kanye, it's all business move, and then you with Kardashians, you don't think that's what I said? Like the Kardashian, like you said, his mental wasn't the same. Like when you in the Kardashian, he even came out and said he felt like he was trapped in that, like he couldn't make any of his own decisions or whatever. You know,
he was in a sunken place. He was in a sunken place.
So that's why I said, like, for me personally, but I was like, I was like, bro, like, so we just gonna forget, y'all just try to cancel Nick Cannon, but y'all gonna support Kanye. Like that's the issue I had with it. But me, I think as a black folk, I'm attacking black folk at this point because I don't like how they pick and choose who they want to cancel on different days of the week. That's my issue. But moving on to R. Kelly, because I love this conversation right here.
Oh, here we go.
I love this conversation right here.
So now, can you separate the music from the man?
I'm still stepping in the name of love. That's all I gotta say. I'm still stepping in the name of love.
Okay. I want to preface this right when I say it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to preface this right when I say it.
Go ahead.
I don't know because now I know the meaning behind a lot of the songs. Besides, I Believe I Can Fly and probably Step in the Name of Love. The rest of the music, who he's talking about and what he's talking about, like when you know who the songs were written for, in the time period that they were written, I don't know if I can listen to them songs the way I used to, yo. And I'm just being real, like I almost can't separate. I almost can't separate the music. Like when you telling me your body's calling me, and that I know the meaning behind the song. Your body's calling me. Like when you tell me age ain't nothing but a number, and a noun ain't nothing but a thing, and you know, like.
So I ain't gonna hold you. That's the one. But listen, the crazy part is,
ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind, and you listen to the words to it.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Even so. Here's the thing, right? Hear me out. Because the Honorable, the Bishop Lonnie Love, that's what they call him. Lonnie Love. That's what they call him. No, he's a like a preacher, but he's a comedian, right?
Yes, I know exactly what he's about.
So he was saying that it's all who you're talking to. That was his thing, and his little joy was going, right? So my thing was, for instance, I don't see nothing wrong with Lil Bump and Grind. You can take the lyrics out of that, and you can make that totally different. Like as I said, like I think it's different. Age ain't nothing about a number. That's probably the one that you're just like, all right, bro, what you got going on? Now that I know what I know, when I know it. What you talking about? Age ain't nothing about a number. So that's probably the one that kind of shaky.
Because R. Kelly, he used to be at all your mix CDs when you trying to have that slow jam joint for you and your lady back in the day when you was the young boy.
Used to. That joint on my Apple playlist. Stop playing with me, bro.
Stop playing. So you gotta set. Oh man, it's hard to separate his music from him because of the tone that's set behind his music for me. But do I still listen to his music? I can't say I don't. I do. I was an R. Kelly fan, so I can't say that I don't. And the songs were songs of my generation, and they were the songs of when I used to want to do the thing with the thing and put the CD in and get it going. Like so. I can't say because music like that isn't made no more. Like that type of music, that sound, he was different. Like, and it's hard, like when you hear, like if you watch the R. Kelly documentaries and stuff, and you hear what the women are saying about him and what he did to them and all that craziness. And then I know his backstory about how like he didn't really know how to read and write and all this. It's like, like you're killing me here. Like I just want to listen to the music in peace. Like I don't really want to know his personal life, but now we got to know it. And it all started from the video back in the day when he was eating the little girl butt out, man. Like it started from there, and it was just like. Like what? Like you can't say nothing. Like, listen, he was in his 30s then.
So another thing that used to bother me, I did watch the whole Lifetime documentary thing that came out.
I did too. I watched all of them.
I watched it from all of them, and the one thing I had an issue with is the parents, bro.
Nigga, yo.
I could honestly, and this is like I said, I look at everything as a parent now.
Yes.
I couldn't see myself.
No, you can't have my kid. You can't have my kid. You can't have my kid. My kid can go over there and record music, but you can't keep my kid. That's just not happening. But I'm going with my kid to record this music.
I almost threw my headphones across the room. I'm going with my kid that's underage to record this joint. That's as simple as that.
If I can't come, I'm sorry. Like I don't care if it's life changing or not. We're not doing this. It's not going down that way.
I'm like, what in the world? I
don't trust nobody.
If freaking Miss Tina Lawson followed Beyonce's ass till today, okay, what makes you think your kid is exempt? I don't understand why. And then this is why I said it was kind of sketch and that's why I said this is the only part of the truth I actually believe R. Kelly. He was like, well, he was basically saying that how he give his parents paid that had their daughters over there.
Yeah.
And I was like, that actually makes sense. So when the payment stopped, of course I'm like, you know what? Don't even worry about it, bro. I'll make sure they hear my story.
I'm expose you now. Yeah.
Don't trip. So that's why I said I kind of see where he was coming from. And the other side note, the other part of the story, I do believe R. Kelly was like, she was like, talking about the hog tying. Bro, he was like, I don't even know how to hog tie. I was like, bro, that's actually kind of who teach what hog
tie. Like you got to be in a farm in the country to learn how to do that. I don't know that one.
That man from the streets of Chicago.
He from the Chi. I don't know about that.
Yeah, fact. He's from the Chi. Yeah,
he's from the Chi. I don't know about that one.
So I was like, that's because I don't know about that. I do. So I'm not going to discredit any of the females, but another point too is like, when they've got to that certain age, they could have left, but they stayed. Y'all call it brainwash or whatever. If I want to leave, I'm gonna leave. And granted, I watch my Law and Order SVU, so I do understand. Like there's some brainwashing that goes and you get hung up. But at the same time, bro, there ain't no way in hell. They were out there yelling. You see on the doc, they were out there yelling outside nah, bro.
Right.
But I will say, as far as his music though, it's certain things. I like how you said, like, you like certain songs or whatever, like, my mind is telling me, my body's telling me, yeah.
That's another one. I couldn't even think of that one.
But hey, listen, I got a perfect example. You can say that when you're cheating.
Think
about it.
You're right. You know what? You're right.
Listen, it's some things you can manipulate in them songs.
You're right. You can turn it any way you want to. You're right.
When you messing with a cougar, AJ nothing but a number. So it's a lot of things you can decipher.
What did Willie Knight say when he was on here? He was like, because Willie had a quote. He had a quote.
I forgot what he said, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Episode 3. Willie had a quote on episode 3. And he was like, it was an R. Kelly quote. It was Lil Nas X. And he was like, I don't care about this. Like, you can have a song, but I'm going to change some of the words to fit the way I wanted to go because I ain't doing the stuff he's talking about.
But
you're right.
That's what I'm saying. It all depends on who you talking to and which situation. Because I was like, legit. I was like, you could say AJ, but nothing but a number. First of all, Leah said the same thing.
Right.
Was not. But we never talk about Leah.
Right.
She's an angel in our heart.
Mhm.
But at 16, 17 years, she's talking about some rock the boat. What the
Right.
fuck you talking about? Okay, you little ass girl.
So listen, you're right, and because we just talked about him, shout out Willie Knight and the Good Noodles podcast. Because
yes, sir.
if you haven't checked them out, please check them out.
Hey, they just dropped season 2, man. Hey, y'all gotta watch.
Yeah,
watch that show.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely check them out. Check them out on their new season, man. But yeah, back on topic. Yeah, so you never talk about the other side with Aaliyah. They always talk about the R. Kelly side of things, and they talk about him. I just, like I said, like I can separate certain things. There's certain things knowing his history now, and then knowing where those songs was placed at in his life is like, it's hard. But again, man, got to figure out what you like and what you don't like. And if you don't like him because of that, then you don't need to listen to his music. To me, I can separate the two to an extent. I'm always going to say that I always can separate entertainers from their personal business. Like people have personal lives and people make mistakes in their personal lives. Like that's never not going to be a case, because just like they're human, we're human, and we make mistakes as well. No one's perfect on this earth. No one.
Right.
Dumbass Nat. So you got this dumbass Nat just full of here. Damn kids opening the door all damn time. So you got to learn how to separate those things. And I mean, some people just can't. Like if you see the music of the person, you think they're one and the same, then maybe you should stop listening to that person then. So maybe you shouldn't support that person. But if you feel like your support is based off of who they are personally and not what they do professionally, then yeah, I guess you shouldn't be a fan.
Real quick, name an artist that have classics that we sing to this day. Name an artist. Name an artist. Pick one.
Rapper, singer. Which one we pick?
We can do, since we talking about R. Kelly, let's do R&B. Pick a singer.
Let's go Bobby Brown.
End of story. I don't even know what we're actually talking about. But yeah, we out here still. We got Ronnie still, right?
We celebrate him. We celebrate Bobby Brown. He just did verses, and we all celebrate him.
Yeah,
we celebrate the legend.
So my thing is a perfect example. I was going to take it a step further. I was going to say Whitney Houston. She smoked her kneecaps off. Okay, but yet we still singing "I Will Always Love You." Okay,
and we celebrate her, and we still celebrate it out. We celebrate.
So
hold
her
to the highest regards. Hold her to the highest regards.
Exactly, she is the standard. Like she is the voice. Matter of fact, she's the voice. So to this day, I always say like people, like I said, and that's what I never understood as African American.
Why we don't support? Why we always turn our back on our people?
They make a mistake. They have an issue or whatever, and that's like, oh, we cancel. And I don't want to take away from the Me Too movement because it did need to happen. But at the same time, I felt like the Me Too movement was a little overboard, just a tad bit, to the point where it's like I don't like cancel culture. I have very negative reviews on cancel culture because at one point in time, all the Temptations smoked crack. They was out there. Y'all ever watch that freaking movie?
David Ruffin was that man.
But yeah, my girl, okay? But my girl still.
Yeah, you're right.
So
you're right.
So that's why I said like we still pick and choose who we want to support. That's what it boils down to. Like everybody's like, oh, we canceling R. Kelly. No, you're not, bro. Because if I play Backyard Party, everybody gonna turn up. If I hit you with the remix to Ignition, I bet your ass is going.
You're right. You're right. People going to jump up and start dancing. You're right.
So, but yeah, that's my thing. So as far as like we talked about Kanye, we talked about Bill, we talked about R. Kelly. We could throw a couple more names. About, Kari Richardson. We could talk about a lot of people. Rachel Nichols. Everybody wants to do a whole lot of cancel culture instead of like, oh, they made a mistake. They fucked up. We can talk shit about them. You know what I'm saying? Oh, whatever.
Right. But at the end of the day, they're still human beings, and they still have careers, and they're still doing their jobs.
Exactly.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, okay. I'm about to say that kind of wraps it up, but I just feel like if as American in the Black community, if we stop picking and choosing or whatever, I feel like the one that really kind of hit home for me because everybody know I'm the biggest Wild 'N Out fan there is. Well, you cancel Nick Cannon.
But he got his show back, and I'm happy for that.
Yeah. I was like, they didn't get that man his show back. We're gonna have some problems. I wrote a few letters, or I had him on reserve because I was ready to go to war. I was ready to go to war because there ain't no way in hell. Because he said something about some Jewish people. Come on, bro.
Side note: why Kev do that to Nick? Though? Why he give his number out like that,
bro? He said he would get him back though.
He got him back for the llama.
That llama got him back for the llama. Funny though.
That was hilarious. So they both got each other though. That was funny. So our last topic of the day, to continue in our theme from last episode, from episode 4, we're going to continue our theme of talking about our spouses. So today, we're going to talk about what we like or love, or what we don't like or hate about our spouse. This is what, this is a continuation of our topic leading up to our spouse episode, which is coming up pretty soon, where our spouses will be on here with us. So I'm going to let you go first, good brother.
Okay.
Yeah, you were surprised by that?
I was like, you go first.
I went first last week.
True story. So we'll start with my likes or / love about Twyla. So the one thing is that I never really had somebody that legit could match my word for war on words. Legit, I always felt like because I'm so quick with my comebacks, I didn't really have nobody to match. But she can kind of go ahead. But she's more so, what I do like is she's really protective of me as a person. I never really had a female that I dated or whatever in the past like be so protective of me. It's kind of like one of those like, oh, you actually like me, huh? But but at the same time, I think your mic is muted. But I was like that.
Trying to cut down on some of the background noise. That's why.
Okay, fine. But I was like, honestly, that was probably one of the biggest things. The fact that she's independent, I ain't really got to worry about how she makes moves or whatever. I could legit go on TVY for a month and don't have to worry about how my kids are getting taken care of because I know just stuff at home could be good. Like I said last week, how like her sister had just passed or whatever, and she had made sure that I got back from the airport, and we were just dating at the time. And she made sure I got back from the airport from Vegas going to Irvine, which is a 2.5-hour drive, literally the day after, or 2 days after her sister had passed away. So I thought that was a big deal. And her sister were close. So I was like, that was a big deal. But the fact that she's independent, she protective, she can hold down on her own. The fact that she bougie, bro, for real. I don't know if y'all caught that vibe yet, but I come from a ratchet background. And ratchet is built in my DNA. I just choose to show it every once in a while.
I had to get that laugh on camera because Nikki, you said ratchet. We not even gonna go. Can we please stay on topic?
I didn't even elaborate, bro. I just said I was ratchet, bro. Hey, but like
that's legit, a whole different conversation.
Is it though? But I felt like, and then the fact that I can learn stuff from her. I think that's a different thing. I tell this story all the time. Like when I go grocery shopping, okay, I'm grabbing whatever I want. Like, hey, look, if it's juice, it's juice. I ain't got time for brands. I don't care if juice is juice. But she put me on the better apple juice, bro. Like, right. I was learning like little stuff like that, or how to budget right, or just like small things. I was learning, looking to improve on or whatever. And I didn't know I needed. So we're gonna table that right there. Okay.
What's your dislikes?
My dislikes is that, bro, she can match me when it comes to the argument back and forth. I ready to knock her out sometimes. Like, who are you talking to, bro? Like, but no, on the serious tip, I think honestly I don't like honestly is that sometimes it's a blessing to curse. She could be too protective. I'm like, hey, bro, chill out. Like it's not that deep. Like, or she can go from 0 to 100. Where like I look at a situation like everybody know me. I don't give a lot of situations my time or
Right.
whatever. If it's not warranted, like bro, like
Sound like somebody else I know.
and so I'll just be like, bro, okay, like whatever.
Right. You and your cousins. Oh my God.
But like legit, if it's not work, like I'm not about to wait, bro. My time I cannot get back. So I'm not gonna waste my time. But Charlotte sometimes has a tendency to go off on a handle. I'm just like, bro, it's not that deep. Like all full disclosure, she would beat somebody up while she was pregnant with Deuce. Like
Oh God.
and I was like, it's not worth it, bro. Like I'm not fighting nobody right now. So like that's a lot of stuff. Like besides that though, like it's not really too much I dislike.
Gotcha.
But I just feel like sometimes she can be a little too protective over her castle. And if
Right.
you feel like you get attacked,
she go right for the jugular. She ain't playing.
oh no! Nah. And the thing is, especially when it comes to when certain family members come and attack me, she ready to go for blood, and I'm just
she ready
like,
to go to wall. She ready to go to wall.
And I'm just like, first of all, I was like, and it's so funny. To tell a quick little story, real quick. For instance, we were at a house party real quick, and one of my boys I grew up in the Army with, or whatever, he was mouthing off, going off, or whatever. And him and T were going at it. And he looked at me like, get your wife. I was like, first of all, I'm not about to get in between that. I would talk to her offline because I think that was the first. I was like, bro, it wasn't that deep, blah, blah, blah. But she was like, don't try her, don't try me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing. Mm-hmm. I had to learn, like, hey, she just don't play about hers. So I was like,
right.
I chalk it up for what it is. And I just feel like sometimes.
Side note, for all you people at home don't know what offline means, that means I'll talk to her at home. That's the military term, just to help y'all out. Because I know y'all going to listen to this and be like, what the hell is he talking about offline? Offline means at home. Does not mean in public. Means we will not hold this conversation in public. We will talk at home in the sanctity of our walls, just to help y'all out. I just want to get that clarified for y'all, okay?
I appreciate that Urban Dictionary.
So what I love about Tasha, how independent she is, how loyal she is. Like, not even just to me, but to family and her circle. Like, she is like everything you can ask for in a woman, as far as when it comes to loyalty, when it comes to being respectful, when it comes to being respectful to you and your feel, you know, she is everything I could have ever asked for in that instance. And how independent she is. Like, listen, she does things I don't even know about what's going on until I get like an email or something, and that shit pop up. Mm-hmm. So, son, he had to come give me 5. He walks upstairs. So, like that right there is what I love most. Like, I love just how loving she is. Like, she's the ultimate lover, giver. Shit, sometimes she could be super protective as well over her household and over things here. Like, she loves beyond the words of love most days. What I hate is her sarcastic ass. Because when you get into an argument with her, it's not an argument. It's a conversation that turns one-sided where you don't get words and everything is very sarcastic. Like you said earlier, when you was like, you don't really got time for stuff, and you just like, whatever. She does that same exact shit. And that shit can drive you up a wall when you're trying to have a conversation with somebody and you're trying to talk about something and they're really nonchalant with you, but they're not trying to be nonchalant, but they're being nonchalant. Yeah, see how your face is right now? That's her. That's why y'all related. That's the bullshit. That's the bullshit right there. See, exactly. Because you're not on the other side of it. You're not on the other side of it. So yes, that right there drives me up a wall. I example, having a conversation last night about something. She pulled that same exact shit. I just fucking walked out the room because I didn't have time for it then. Like, I'm not even doing it. So I can't. But
Oh man.
So that right there is what does it for me. But overall, I couldn't have asked for a better partner, better wife, better everything. Like,
I agree.
and she doesn't hold on to things. Like, she'll let it, like, we'll have a conversation about it. We won't talk about it, and we'll come back, have a miniature conversation about it, and it'll be over. And that'll be it.
Yeah.
And that right there is what I love most about her, is that she loves me for me. Like, she loves me for who I am, how I am. She understands how I am. She respects me to the extent of she lets me be me. She doesn't try to change things about me. She supports me in every way possible, like from what decisions I make about where I want to work at, to me doing this podcast, to me doing the hookah flavor business that I do. Like, she supports all that stuff. It is my biggest supporter, my biggest cheerleader. I couldn't ask for a better wife in that instance, because I've been in relationships where you didn't have support, you didn't have a cheerleader, or you had a person who talked down to you. And those things just don't work. And I just know I have somebody who's always got my back.
I'm about to say, my thing is, I think with T is like, I felt like for me, it was more so like, I never had this like talk down. I never had support more so. And I think that was, and the crazy part is, I didn't know I didn't have support until I got support.
So you really got support, right? It feels totally different, right? Yeah.
Totally different. Yeah, I feel like, for instance, like, it was legit. Twyla could have been out here on the phone talking, whatever, while we doing the podcast. But yeah, I'm like, everybody do the podcast. She leaves to go to the other room or whatever.
Right.
Because she know we doing the podcast. Like, little small. It's for me.
The smallest thing.
It's small. I'm simple as hell. Everybody know me, bro. I wear slides everywhere I go. Okay. I'm simple. I wear white tees and jeans. Like, and that's me. I don't try to get dressed up for nobody unless I have to. That's another thing. Like you said, I like how you said she don't try to change. I feel like I've been in almost every relationship where I've always tried to change to meet everybody.
Yeah, so like, even for me, instance, like, even what everybody knows, I'm a sneakerhead. I buy sneakers all the time. That's what I do. She's probably my biggest supporter in it. Like, if I don't have it, or let's say I can't get it at that moment, like, she'll make it happen. Right. And I've never been in situations where somebody supported what I do in the ways that I move. And she's that big of a supporter. And I couldn't ask for it. Like I say all the time, and I say this to people, and people be like, oh, you just saying it for lip service. But no, I really mean it. Like, I couldn't have asked for a better wife and partner in this life thing. Like, this marriage thing is a partnership, and she's my partner. Like, I couldn't ask for a better one.
I don't know if I tell everybody, I know it's corny, but like, if I'm rocking, she rolling. It's really as simple as that. Exactly. It's really as simple as that. And I feel like people don't understand that. And that's what, and I always tell people, like, married people, usually when you kind of peep it when you hang out with other married folk, like, you kind of see it. And like we'll be, I told Twyla, I said, shoot, if I'm going out to a club or a party or whatever, I said, I would prefer that you with me or whatever.
Exactly. Me too. I have more fun with her.
I'm about to say that's a fact. Yeah, I'm about to say, I was like, because like legit, like, I didn't even know I said this. So we just went out. First time in Germany, we found the clubs was opened up or whatever. So we went to the little hookah lounge or whatever. She was like, I got tipsy. She was like, I was like, hey, look at all this ass in here. And she was with it.
Right.
I said that.
I said that. That's me.
I said that. I was like, well, shit.
I didn't mean to say that to you.
I said, well, shit, it sounds like me. So but I was like, the fact that, you know, saying she, like, we don't always see eye to eye on a lot of stuff. And even if we don't, I was like, if we arguing, it's legit because we had said, like, that's the thing. That's one thing I will say. I don't like. We both competitive. I wish if one of us can just be competitive, it'd be fine. I honestly.
Nah, we both competitive too. Like,
I don't like it.
You can't even see us play cards together. Like, it's a hard thing to watch because we real competitive. We go at each other. We talk shit to each other. Like, it goes down. It goes down.
Oh,
Like
yeah, I'm about to say,
this table got some stories right here. Like this table I'm sitting at right now got some stories about me and her and some cards or a board game. Like we go at it. So I get it. I get about having a competitive spouse. Like I get that.
Yeah,
I get that. I get that. Yeah. Like, it's hard sometimes. It's hard.
Yeah.
Especially when you especially when you lose to them and they talk shit. That shit's hard. That shit hard to swallow.
Don't even worry about it. We running it back till I win. I don't even want to hear that.
It's been nice. I gave up. Like fuck it. Like you just winning too much and I can't deal. Like I gotta go. Yeah, man. But so another episode down, folks. Again, we want to thank y'all for all the views, all the new subscribers. Remember, August. What's the date again that we doing a giveaway?
I want to say I said August 1st or what's something. Let me look at my calendar since I pull it out real quick. I want to say it was August 1st though, which is a Sunday. So I might push it out to like that. For school over here, it starts over, at least for over here, it starts to the 23rd. So I can push it. I'll push it to the 9th of August.
Okay, so August 9th, whoever are the first 50 subscribers will go. We're gonna do our randomizer and we're gonna pick a random name and they're gonna get a $100 gift card. We definitely need to get to 50. We at 30, right? 31 right now. I'm so happy that we at 31. Goals. We got goals here. We're trying to get to 50, from 50 to 100. You know, we want these subscribers. We want you guys to follow the show. Keep up with us. Comment, like, send us emails. Tell us how we can improve. Tell us something that you want us to talk about. We all for it. We here. We definitely want to thank y'all for watching. We want to thank y'all for enjoying us so far in these first 5 episodes. It's been a lot of fun. Like I said, we go back to our regular schedule next week. We'll be back to the Friday release dates, and we'll be back on our time frame. Brother Butler, anything you want to say to the folks?
I just want to say we got a lot of stuff coming up. Like you said, we talked about spouses. Our spouses will definitely be on here. That's going to be an episode you guys don't want to miss. I promise you that. It's going to be a lot of laughs. I can tell you that because when the 4 of us get in the room, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to be said. I want to say between if not next week, it'll be the week after. I'm gonna kind of go into my little life story a little bit to give y'all insight on how I grew up. I kind of grew up a unique lifestyle. We're gonna
talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. Some people are not gonna like this conversation, but we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna let y'all know it's gonna be some heads that roll unintentionally, but it is what it is.
We're gonna talk about it, and it's his story. He wants to express it. So we're gonna sit back as fans. Me too. I'm gonna listen, even though I know most of it. But we're gonna sit here and we're gonna listen. We're gonna hear him out and speak his piece.
And then the last but not least, I've literally been on the phone right now. I've been talking to a sergeant first class in the United States Army, as first name Latoya, last name Green. She is if you haven't heard, she's been very big on the change of the PT program in the Army. For all my people that know, the quick little background, females get taped differently than males when it comes to height and weight standards. If a girl is thick or whatever, or she got hips, I should say hips, they could be fit. They could have a 300 PT, but they break height and weight, or they don't pass tape. And all taping is if you don't pass the BMI index, whatever, you gotta hop on, get your neck tape. Body mass index.
Let me help people out who don't know body mass index.
So if you don't get your body mass index right or whatever, it's a chart. Like I said, you go and break all that down. So it's a chart. If you don't meet the Army standards, then you gotta get taped. And females are hitting it a little bit harder than males. So she talks about
because males can cheat. Because males can cheat.
Oh yeah.
And I'm speaking from experience. Males can cheat. I pass body mass index every PT test. I know how to pass it. It's down to a science.
No, it's real.
Easy.
Everybody says it's real easy, and I feel
And it
like
ain't hard, but for women, it's hard. It's definitely hard for women because you can't do the cheat methods that men can do because their bodies are just not built that way. So it's just not possible. It's just not possible.
And she's going to talk about a lot of stuff that happens in the Army. That's the one that I'm going to try to get as many people I can to view, or I might even have more than one person come on the show to talk. We have like a little forum just to talk about it.
Right.
And we'll let you guys know when that episode comes out. But that's an episode as well you're not going to want to miss, especially to all my military folk. Everybody knows Shauna Green in the military community. She's known. She's out there. She's known. She's been on a lot of NCOPDs. That's basically an NCO meeting where we just talk about stuff that's happening in the Army. That doesn't need to talk about that whole 45 thing that happened earlier in the past couple of years. Yeah, we're going to talk about stuff like that. How we felt as Black people with the commander-in-chief and some of the things he was saying and doing. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of race in the Army. She's going to talk about all that. So just stay tuned. We're going to get more in depth with a lot of the topics that, talked about around the barbecue, around the smoke pit. On my side, I just want to say, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. It means a lot, honestly. This is the thing that we had in the works for a while, and I appreciate everybody that kind of tuning in and whatnot, and all the support back home. I'm not home, but I appreciate everybody like kind of supporting back home. All my family out there that's watching or whatever. I really do appreciate y'all tuning in on behalf of this side of the B. So yeah.
Right. So again, we want to thank y'all for tuning in. First time listeners, last time listeners, and all our supporters. Thank y'all for tuning in. Be on the lookout for another show that we're going to do with another group of podcasters called Two Kings 215, which is my cousin Nye and his partner Ace. They will be on the show soon as well. That's going to be a big one. We're going to talk some real topics on there, some grown men. Everybody's married too, so this is going to be one of those shows where we delve into marriage and we delve into the husband side of things. So be on the lookout for that show. Be on the lookout for when this show drops. I try to drop the shows as soon as possible. That's really it. I got to go to a candlelight vigil for a kid that we lost around here, so I got to get out of here. Rest in peace to my young boy KJ, man. Long live KJ, man. Love you, kid. Definitely gonna miss you, kid. So everybody know me. I see y'all next week. Have a great week. And that's the pod for today. B&B, we off the clock until next week. See y'all then.
Clocking out.